That's right. Yeah, the biggest thing about estate planning is that you don't know when you need it. And so a lot of people delay, and most people delay too long. About 75% of people, regardless of how much money they have, never do some sort of plan. So what happens is when they can't make decisions anymore, then the government, which is well known for managing things well, takes over. And they have prepared a will for you. They prepared a succession plan for you. If you have a real estate portfolio, the judge's hands are in it, and probates in California take 3 years.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Elijah Keys, is an attorney in the Bay Area of California and the founder of the Keys Law Group, where he has helped thousands of families and investors protect what they build through estate planning strategies and real estate focused legal strategies. You can find him at keyslawgroup.com or on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. Elijah, thanks for taking the time today.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
When we talk about estate planning, it's so important really for everyday folks, for seasoned investors, because if you don't do it, someone else is going to have to deal with it, right? It's not something that you can, forego and say, well, someone else will figure it out. They will definitely be having to pick up the pieces, right?
That's right. Yeah, the biggest thing about estate planning is that you don't know when you need it. And so a lot of people delay, and most people delay too long. About 75% of people, regardless of how much money they have, never do some sort of plan. So what happens is when they can't make decisions anymore, then the government, which is well known for managing things well, takes over. And they have prepared a will for you. They prepared a succession plan for you. If you have a real estate portfolio, the judge's hands are in it, and probates in California take 3 years. So welcome to the show that if you are married and you have a wife or a husband, your spouse doesn't see a dollar for years.
When we talk specifically about who needs an estate plan, right? And I was watching one of your videos where you're talking about, when you hear the word estate plan, it makes it sound like there's some regal palace that you're planning, a succession plan for. But really, it's for anyone who has property, right?
Right. Right. You would think, the word estate is weird. I wish that we could change the definition of what I am from an attorney to like a tax and family project manager. It's really what I do. Right. I work on a project. And so when you think estate, you think of this big mansion on top of a hill. Right. And some lord who's sitting there sipping tea at 4 PM and having all these peons work for him. It's not really what it is. An estate is what you own. It just so happens that these people own a lot. Right. And that's okay that they own a lot. And it's okay if you don't own a lot. The difference is that an estate plan takes what you own and has just a number of tools that we use to try to pre-plan things. So you might think that that an estate plan is weird, but it's not. It's just a technology. It's something that you and I might use to try to make sure that your decisions are done the way that you want them, because the way that the government has planned it The government has planned it based upon this imaginary set of individuals who aren't you, and this imaginary set of circumstances who aren't you. And then they've tried to layer on the judge's decisions and the judge's in control.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And so if you don't make a plan, totally fine that you don't, but you have chosen that the judge is more important than your family.
You mentioned 3 years, right? If people don't have a plan, what's happening? That's a long time. What's happening in those 3 years?
So there's 5 things that need to happen after someone dies. Okay, 5. We have to take control of their things. I met with a family yesterday. The husband had passed away. He owned property with his mother, but wanted to give it to his wife, but never did a plan. No one can sign his name. If you are unconscious in a hospital, no one can sign your name. If you have a real estate portfolio, you need to collect checks and you need to pay mortgages. No one can access your bank account. It's done. No one has permission. Only the judge has permission. So someone has to get access to your stuff, not ownership. They can't take it. They need access. So you need access to control. Then you have to value things. You have to pay debts. You have to resolve disputes. You have to deal with all of the issues that are present with all of your property and your family. Maybe you have a sister who's really aggressive who says, he owed me money. Maybe you have a family member who says, hey, I think you should do this way, and throws a neutron bomb. And now that person walks in, and the judge listens to that person. The judge listens to your crazy Aunt Sharon, because your crazy Aunt Sharon believes that aliens say that she should get all of your real estate. The judge listens to her because the judge is required to. Just so happens that the judge has a really good BS meter, and they know when people are BSing them, but you have to deal with all that stress, and you've allowed your family to deal with it. Final step is distribution. Now, California is weird because California is the second worst state for probate in the country. Hawaii is the only worst one. Easiest state for probate in the country is like New Jersey. New Jersey's super easy for probate. It takes 4 hours to get permission. In California, it takes 2 months. So it's just a scale difference.
I'm from New Jersey, so it's good to hear that we're doing something right.
New Jersey does a lot of things right, but they do a lot of things weird too. So, everybody has something.
I want to ask you, if I can, on a granular level, when folks are thinking about estate planning, let's say it's one home, right? And it might not be some like regal home as we talked about. It could be a fairly distressed property, but it's livable. What's the cost of estate planning to get to have something in place? I know it's going to range, but what's the general cost of an estate plan for one home in California?
Well, let's first look at what's the cost of not doing a plan. Okay. Your family has to deal with all your crap. And I made a decision a long time ago that I wasn't going to allow other people to deal with my mistakes. I was going to try to own my own mistakes. I wasn't going to put them on other people. And so the cost of me not doing a plan is that my wife has to deal with my entire business, that my children are left without a father and they're left with uncertainty. If my wife and I died at the same time, my children would have millions of dollars set in a bank account that no one could ever steal. There would be set banks and organizations that would take care of them. They would be completely fine. But for someone who hasn't done a plan, that's the effect. So if you're thinking of cost, it's money out of your pocket. And if you're unwilling to do it because of money, you're like 75% of people who don't have a will. Yeah. So Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, did not have a will or a trust. He became an ardent conservative Christian near the end of his life, and he gave 90% of his income to his church. And he never did a plan because he always thought one sentence that most people would never do a plan think. And he said, I have time. I have time. I have time. And so he didn't pay $50 to download a simple will and write it out himself. and his brothers and sisters are still fighting over his estate 10 years later.
When
They're
you
still
talk
fighting.
about writing a will yourself, I forget the technical term. What is it called when you personally write the will?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
You write the will by hand, like you write it out on a paper. It's called a holographic will. The law is full of all these weird special words because they think that they're weird and special. It simply means that it's a handwritten will. So let's go back to your question of how much does it cost? It's going to be very personalized based upon the provider. A lot of people think, hey, I want to do this for the cheapest. So let's consider what you're going to do. I have a house. I have some bank accounts. My house is worth $700,000, but it's a house. And so you think, I just have a house and I have some bank accounts. This is simple. And the answer is no. The court doesn't care that it's a house. The court cares that you have $800,000. So let's take your $800,000 and let's try to push this down to the bottom of the barrel. Let's try to spend the least amount possible. And here's what you get. You either get a lawyer who doesn't know what they're doing because they can't generate a larger fee, right? We turn away 80% of every single person that contacts our firm because they want something cheap. And I don't want to provide a cheap product. I want to provide time, expertise, and a very, very good result. Or you go online and you do it yourself and then you become your own lawyer. And so anybody can be their own lawyer. Just so happens that most people will be their own lawyer, screw it up. So 3 ranges. You could go bottom of the barrel, somewhere between zero, so you could download a free form from a local library, or maybe about $3,000 to $4,000. That's kind of the bottom of the barrel lawyers. There's some insurance companies that will pay for an estate plan. They pay an attorney about $800. So you might think if you walk into a lawyer's office, you're going to pay them $800 to do an estate plan. You might think that would be a crappy plan, and you're right, it is. So then you have between $3,000 and about $8,000. And $3,000 to $8,000 is actually the competent attorney that isn't going to do a whole lot of complex planning. Our fees tend to be kind of at the top end of that range because what we do is that we provide a very robust solution, and we have good relationships with our customers. We have good presence, all these marketing tools. We have a very robust team, blah, 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 blah. All this. And what happens there is nothing is of benefit to you. Has no benefit to you at all. Zero. You might think, well, I don't invest in anything that doesn't pay me money. Great. Then never buy insurance. Don't ever buy car insurance, because car insurance is never something that ever pays you money. Never. It only pays when something goes wrong. I do not work in an environment where I promise to earn you money. I promise to make sure that your family doesn't get fucked up when you mess it up. And so that's my job. I'm sorry, I didn't know if I could swear up.
That's okay.
Okay, so I think you're talking to real estate investors, so I don't really care.
Yeah, no, they don't really care.
So then you have the top end range. So our top end range starts at about $15,000. And so what we do is we help people that have a lot of money or very complicated circumstances. And so you might think, well, my family is simple. And in your mind, you're probably right. You're probably right that in your mind, because you have lived with your family for 50 years, your family is simple, but that's because you're used to them. It doesn't mean that they actually are simple. If you have a disabled parent, or if you have a child with Down syndrome, or if you have a brother who has early onset Alzheimer's, or if your spouse my wife has certain conditions. I have certain conditions. So everybody has something. And so if the conditions are serious enough that they need special attention, it's no longer simple. And so when people come into my office and they say, this is simple, what they mean is, I don't want to pay that much. And my answer is, you can hit the door, because I'm not going to do a crappy job because you don't want to come out of pocket. My own opinion, not anybody else's.
Now, when we talk about the importance of this, right? I mean, we're talking about $15,000 on Bay Area homes. That I don't know the average price of a Bay Area home, but I know it's probably double what it is or close to what that it is in Dallas, Texas, or San Antonio, where I'm active as a realtor. And I know from my personal experience dealing with people going through probate in Texas that in many cases, this, like we're talking about, it's not something that they saw coming. They thought it would be easy. It's one property, and now they're stuck in this process, right?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And they're not experts in navigating this process. This isn't something that they saw coming. So one of the things that comes to mind as someone who works with a lot of investors and as someone who's in the space is this is so important, especially in a state like California, where homes can be a huge percentage of people's personal wealth. That if you're not prioritizing this, right, not only are you saying, okay, well, I'll do it when I'll do it, you're potentially having a ripple effect of locking up much needed, equity
Right.
for your heirs. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking like creatively here, hey, if this is going to be such a financial burden, like if so much of your wealth is tied up in this home that's been in the family for a generation or two, then even something like a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, so that you can gain access to that. If hey, I'm getting older, and this is a huge portion of our family's wealth. This is really important. We're in a California home. Let's take care of this because this is a priority for us.
Yeah. You have a really good idea, but it won't work.
Really?
It's a great idea.
Mm.
Who's going to sign your name to pull from the HELOC?
I'm saying before the anything happens.
Even totally true. You have a great idea. You take the HELOC, you pull money out, you put it into your bank account. Who's going to sign your name to get access to the bank account?
I'm
Nobody.
saying me individually. Like,
No, I understand. I totally get it. You have a
okay,
great idea, but you're trying to use a banker's tool to solve a judge's solution, and it's a good idea. You're thinking in the right way. The
okay,
right way of thinking here is that I met with a family yesterday, and the husband had bought a property with his mother and never solved the issue that when he got married 7 years ago, he never put his wife on title. He never took his mother off. He never did a will. He never did a trust. He never did anything. California's law screwed his wife over. He invested $1 million into the piece of real estate, and his wife is getting 300,000. He paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. He paid millions of dollars. He paid $1 million for this house, and his wife is getting 300,000, and his mother gets 700 because that's the way that the law works. It's not the fact of what's fair. What's fair is in your mind. What's legal, the law is not about what's fair or right. It's simply a line in the sand. And so here's the problem that people face that they don't have awareness of. The problem is that when you buy a house, a lot of people use a house as a savings investment. The reason why people buy property is because they think, well, I'm going to pay rent anyway, so I want to pay rent to myself. So I'm going to pay the mortgage and I'm going to pay the insurance and the property tax and whatever it is, all the expenses, but that's paying myself. So essentially what they're doing is that they're saying, I want a place to live and I want a savings account too. So I'm going to use this as a savings account. Just so happens that the real estate market grows faster than the money market. So I can actually have better savings. I can have a better result by having a long-term real estate investment. But now what you've done is you turn your bank account into something that a judge is in control of. And so if you don't take control of that bank account, your family doesn't have any access. So you could get a HELOC and you could pull money out, and that money would then go into a bank account, and your family still doesn't have access to that bank account because it's in your name. This isn't a problem of real estate. This isn't a problem of banks. It's a problem of whose name is on the owner line and who's going to sign your name if you're unconscious in the hospital.
but they could use it for attorney fees, right? They could use the HELOC.
No,
That's what I was
no.
referring to. No,
You have a great idea. Who's
uh,
going to sign your name?
I'm saying for
Well,
myself. So if I own the home and I take
I
out a HELOC for me and to pay my attorney, I couldn't do that.
oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. Yeah, you could. Sorry. So I'm sorry. You're trying to get access to money. I understand that. So if you were to take out a HELOC and if you were to borrow on the house or whatever it is to pay attorney's fees, right, you can do that. My recommendation when you're dealing with a lawyer is to look at the cost of their services and to view that as an investment because it really is. When
Right.
you're looking at an insurance, you buy insurance on a piece of real estate so that you don't actually have to you don't have to suffer this loss. You have car insurance because you don't have to suffer this loss. My services are essentially a very robust insurance policy. So you're right. If you can borrow on the house, you can get access to your equity so that you can actually pay an attorney. It's fantastic. It
You
works
know,
well.
that's something that I think a lot of people are not thinking about, but it's again, it's this idea of, well, this isn't going to happen to me. And I'm thinking about Texas specifically. It makes sense in Texas. It makes sense in California. Because here's the thing: is it's let's say 2% of the value of the home, 15 grand, right? In the Bay Area, it might be 3%, right? But is that worth saving 3 years of your time? Of course it is. Of course it is. Not to mention the headache, not to mention, what I've seen personally, which is families effectively fighting over something that they didn't foresee to be a problem, right? So they didn't realize it would be this complicated. They figure there's a succession plan in place, and then there's not. And then you realize, okay, well, what do we do now? Because we've got to pay for maintenance of the property, right? How are we going to do that? Things break. It's an older home. What, like these things continue to pile up, and without that succession plan in place, it's honestly a great source of grief for a lot of families.
Let me paint you a picture. I've tons of war stories, right? So let me paint you a picture based upon a lawsuit that was filed yesterday. Okay, this is yesterday. So my client was there are three daughters in the family, all professionals. The first daughter, my client, takes care of her aging mother. So her aging mother has an estate plan, and the aging mother goes to an estate planner like me and says, I want to give everything to my daughter that's taking care of me because my other two children, I have given them $2 million of gifts. Literally, she has given them $2 million of gifts over time, and the other two daughters still have no money because they just spent it. Okay. So over time, that's what we have. Now, what the mother really has, what she has left over, she's sold her properties, she's liquidated her bank accounts, she's given a lot of money away. The one daughter that was taking care of her for so long has all of the gifts that she gave her and invested. And the other daughters took vacations, bought Birkin bags, bought new cars. They spent it. And that's if that's how they want to live their lives, that's okay. But now they have no money. Neither of them have real estate, and they're now living not so good a life. And so the mother then goes and lives with the daughters for 1 month, just 1 month. And during that time, the daughters pulled the one piece of real estate out of the living trust, tried to sell it, and stole $300,000. 1 month. Now, mother has died. We can take control of the property. The two sisters sued the one sister, accusing the one sister of stealing all the money. So thieves will accuse other people of stealing. And eventually, if this goes to court, what's going to happen is we have all the evidence that we need to win the case. Great. Do we want to have that fight?
Right.
Because until that fight is over, the argument, lawyers' arguments are about leverage. Leverage means how can I force you to feel pain? So they want to remove her from the trust that names her as a beneficiary. They want to accuse her of stealing from her mother. They want to accuse her of beating up her mother. They want to accuse her of all these horrible things. Now we are in the world that sister is against sister, and it's she said, and all these arguments going back and forth. And the judge doesn't care about all this crap. But basically, how you work in an estate planning court, in a court like that, where people are arguing, it becomes character assassination. It essentially becomes I heard an attorney say this, and it's a fantastic thing. It becomes full context storytelling. Let's go ahead and tell a story that shows about how you are the most horrible person in the world, and the other person tells a story about how you're the most horrible person in the world, and the person that has the most proof about who's horrible wins. And it's disgusting, but that's what it is. And why are they fighting? Because they could get another 300 grand out of it.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's really what happens here. Now, with an estate plan in place, do people ever still try to fight the estate plan?
They do. And this is where you have that difference in range of fees. You have the fees of $2,000 or the insurance plan where they pay somebody $900. Does that attorney have the time to actually sit with you and explore things and explain how to do a workaround? No. Then you have the fees of somewhere between $3,000 and $8,000. Maybe that person has time, or you have the upward fees. So let me give you another comparison, another conversation from yesterday. This is every day we have this. Yesterday, client calls. He says, I have a company that's earning $10 million in revenue. I have a $5 million loan. During COVID, my company went down quite a bit and we almost went bankrupt. My wife and I almost lost everything. How do we protect our house? Because if a creditor comes, the creditor's going to try to take the business, fine. But they're not going to stop there. They're going to keep going. How do I protect my house? And so we had a conversation about how do we do that? Now, if you want to pay the bottom dollar, can you actually do that? No. And that's okay. It's okay if you don't want to do that. If you do something, it's better than nothing. 75% of people don't have an estate plan. You're a young guy. You probably don't have a mature family with late teenagers and maybe a mother who has Alzheimer's. You probably don't have that. So I doubt that you have a very robust plan, and maybe that's right for you at this time. But for someone that has more life experience, someone that has more savings, someone that has more family members to protect, it will go down. And when it goes down, do you want to plan it? Do you want to direct it? Or do you want someone else to control it? There's a really good image that sticks in my mind. An estate plan is a technology, something that you and I understand has been created. And it's just been created by people. It's been created by judges. It's been created by laws. It's been created by whoever. And so that specific plan. Sorry, my alarm is going off. Sorry.
It's okay.
That specific plan is a technology, and so you can view it in one of two ways. You can say, I want the cheapest technology that I can possibly get simply because I want to try to drive the market, and that's fine. You can do that. And so if you do that, you might view it as like a car driving down a road. And so you're going to buy the cheapest car possible. And the cheapest car, which is available on the market, is a Yugo. Yugo came from Yugoslavia. That's why it's called Yugo. The Yugo was the worst car ever created, and it crashed so much that it's no longer street legal. You're no longer purchased it in the United States. But there's plenty of attorneys who operate in a reckless way. There's plenty of people who provide a service that's pretty bad. LegalZoom was sued by every single state in the country. Every single state in the United States sued LegalZoom, not because they're bad, but because they told people we're providing you a product prepared by lawyers, and it wasn't. It's simply a computer program. And people had confidence that LegalZoom was a lawyer, that they were telling them what to do. No, they're not. It's a computer program where you are operating the program and you're telling this thing what to do. It's the same type of thing that I might do, except that I have LegalZoom times 1,000 when I'm preparing something for a client. Okay. So do you want LegalZoom times 1,000 plus somebody who's been doing it for 20 years? Or do you want to do it yourself? Totally fine. So the other side is, do you need a Lamborghini? Probably not. Some people need Lamborghinis. Some people want a Lamborghini. Some old ladies want to drive down the road because they're the little old lady from Pasadena. Totally fine. That's the technology that she wants. You probably want something in between. Do you want a Volvo to drive down the road, which is ultimately safe? That's the reputation anyway. Do you want a Range Rover? Or do you want to go to somebody who actually sells cars for a living? In which case, they would probably tell you to buy a Toyota Sienna. Not because a Toyota Sienna is good or bad, because Toyotas have more resale value than any other car, and the Sienna is the van, and the van is the safest vehicle on the road.
Would make sense, right? Get what's going to be protecting you, but also, understand what you're getting, right? Because if you're thinking that you're getting the Sienna and you're getting a Yugo, that could be a difficult realization when you realize, hey, you're stuck in the middle of the road, or you're veering off a hill in the Bay Area. We are coming up on time here, though, Elijah. KeysLawGroup.com is the website. Is that the best way for folks to get in contact with you and your team?
Yeah, go to the website, Keys Law Group. That's Keyes. That extra E there is because we're special. You can also find us on YouTube. We have Keys Law Group PC is our YouTube channel. We have a podcast there. We have about 200 or 300 videos. Go ahead and check it out. Best way to contact us, you can find us on the website or just give us a call. We love to work with people. We work with a lot of people. If you want to work with Elijah, it's a little bit more expensive than to work with one of the associates, but we're happy to help you.
Elijah, thanks for your time today. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for joining us for today's show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing on your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. You can also check out the show's notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and even how to work with me directly one-on-one. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. See you on the next show.